Welcome to How to Rock Spirit's Sun Moon Alchemy series. This audio was compiled and recorded by Dustin Cormier, a Leo Ascendant Scorpio with Sagittarius Moon, born in the year of the Metal Ram. All the possible Western Sun and Moon sign combinations can be found and learned about here. This information is for educational purposes only. I do not own any of the following content. For more astrology lectures and my own Cosmic Consciousness audio lecture series, check out How to Rock Spirit's YouTube channel, where I rap about everything from philosophy and transpersonal psychology, to psychedelic spirituality, to tantric and occult mysticism, and even to Marx and Engels and the materialist sciences. See you there! Sun in an air sign. Basically motivated by intellectual concepts and social ideals. Recharges energy through social involvement and intellectual stimulation. The Sun in the Signs, Interpretive Guidelines. Sun in Aquarius. Creative energy is directed towards society's welfare and theoretical concepts, especially through innovation. Radiates friendly, people-oriented mental energy, often with a tinge of extremism. Urge to be and to create is colored by freedom, eccentricity, and experimentation. Essentially values humanity in the world of the intellect, with the need to find what's right or true. Expression of individuality can be deterred by self-effacement, over-concentration on duty, or aimless rebellion. The Moon sign and its element. These notes are also still from Stephen Arroyo's Chart Interpretation Handbook. The element of the moon's sign represents an attunement from the past that manifests automatically, a mode of feeling and being that one needs to be aware of in order to feel inwardly secure and at home with oneself. This element and experiences related to it feed your need to feel right about yourself. This element and experiences related to it feed your need to feel right about yourself. By such modes of self-expression, you are satisfying a deep inner need that can give stability to your entire personality. The moon's element also shows how you react instinctively to all experiences, with what energy you spontaneously adjust yourself to the flow of life. Moon in air signs. Reacts to changing experiences with forethought and objective evaluation. Feels comfortable with self when expressing ideas and interacting socially. Sign position of the moon. How one reacts based on subconscious predisposition. Moon in Aquarius. Reacts unpredictably, eccentrically, and with detached objectivity. Feels secure when exercising complete freedom of ideas, self-expression, and innovation. Responds individualistically, based on sense of self as unique, altruistic, and socially conscious. Needs to interact socially in order to feel emotionally centered and right about self. Nurtures others by encouraging their freedom and feels supported when given complete autonomy in return. A need for emotional independence can cause alienation from one's true feelings and aloofness towards the sensitivities of others. The following information comes from Isabel Hickey's Astrology, a Cosmic Science, copyright 1992 by Isabel M. Hickey Trust. Moon in Aquarius. Progressive. Can bring difficult lessons through erratic and ill-considered actions. Good minds, but erratic and unstable. Much originality of thought if it can get out of rigid thought patterns. A very cold-feeling nature because of not understanding the other fellow's needs. Aquarius is a mental sign, not emotional at all. Feelings are cramped and limited, and do not operate freely. A strong selfishness behind a friendly manner. Often has arthritic conditions in later life due to rigid will and crystallizations of emotions. In a male chart, attracts a fixed and stable partner that cannot be pushed but can be coaxed. Sun-Moon Alchemy, the elemental combinations of the sun sign and the moon sign. The following information comes from Charles and Susie Harvey's Sun Sign Moon Sign. Copyright Charles and Susie Harvey, 1994, again in 2003. First published by Aquarian, 1994. Each sun-moon type is a combination of elements. In the following descriptions of the element combinations, please remember that the pairing can be either way around. For example, a fire-earth combination refers equally to sun-fire, moon-earth, as it does to sun, earth, moon, fire. There will be subtle differences, but the dynamic is generally the same. The 4 pure types, with both sun and moon in the same element, most vividly express the element involved. Such an emphasis on one element also represents an imbalance, so such types are liable to swing into their complementary or opposite element. Air-air combinations. Intelligent, gracious ladies and thoughtful gentlemen, double air types are the most reasonable, civilized, clear-headed of combinations. They are probably the most cultured and elegant as well, never at a loss for a word or comment, always ready for discussion and reasoned argument and debate. Being told this will not go to their head, for they are not normally prone to self-importance. That would be far too illogical for their poised and intelligent approach to life. The double air type assumes independence as his birthright. To be able to move and connect with ideas and people is the stuff of life for them. Witty, cerebral, urbane, and polite, the double air type is a natural communicator and thinker who prefers to soar in the ideal realm, where they can build social, political, or philosophical schemes that help improve humankind's lot. A thinker par excellence, the double air type finds security in taking the broad, intelligent viewpoint and stepping back in order to see the patterns and principles at work in the whirlwind of life's activities. They are an observer and theorizer of life, and their faith in the power of ideas is well exhibited by the British economist John Maynard Keynes, the sun in Gemini, the moon in Gemini, who said, "The ideas of economists and political philosophers, both when they are right and when they are wrong, are more powerful than is commonly understood. Indeed, the world is ruled by little else." This detached, observant mode is useful, but it often earns this type the accusation of being cold and unfeeling. Although others may experience double air in this way, the strongly airy individual insists, often at considerable length, that he is only doing what comes naturally, questioning, examining, and remaining open, fair-minded, friendly, and harmonious, and above all, communicating with whoever will listen and discuss. Shadow side. The double air type labors under the illusion that there is such a thing as complete objectivity and perfect impartiality. He is utterly honorable and, alas, childlike in his attempt to understand, analyze, and name everything. Childlike in that his feeling for life, because it is such a conundrum to him, tends to remain immature, undeveloped, and very often unconscious. The whole range of human feelings, hurt, anger, jealousy, dependence, fear, love, hate, tend to be avoided, repressed, or played down with great agility. The only possible exception is cheerfulness, which air is particularly good at. The rejection of the feeling dimension makes this type curiously sensitive and vulnerable to the waywardness of human behavior. The strongly airy individual can therefore be a real challenge in a relationship. It is not easy being the only one admitting to all those unpleasant and uncontrollable feelings, while your airy mate looks on with a cool, nonchalant, and maddeningly debonair gaze. The double airy individual weaves clever arguments, so you have to be subtle and careful when you try to bring his feelings to his attention. Relationships. The double air person is an adventurer and a traveler, if not geographically, then intellectually in some way. They will usually meet a wide variety of people throughout their lives and be attracted to adventuresome souls. Communication is paramount for this type, and they need mental rapport and mutual respect in a relationship for it to be satisfying and long-lasting. Air is compatible with Earth, and they make a good team, for they both approach life logically and practically. Fire and air stimulate each other in the realm of ideas and possibilities, but this relationship could lack stability and burn itself out. Air is fascinated by the watery individual, whose predominant feeling mode will help the airy person to get in touch with his mysterious emotions and to develop his imagination. Airy thinking and watery feeling are opposites, and yet because of that very fact, they are intensely drawn to one another. Male versus female. Traditionally, we expect to see the objective, witty, thinking characteristics of the double air type in men whose intellects make them leaders of thought and action. Women of this type are just as independent, inquisitive, and extroverted, and rebel when others try to peg them into more traditional female roles. Adaptability, ingenuity, and handling people with cunning insight and skill are double air virtues, and the female of this type can employ these qualities in both the home and the marketplace. Both sexes are often drawn towards learning and communication, as well as professional activities that allow for maximum freedom of movement and travel. The following observations about your Sun-Moon combination are drawn from insights gained from astrologer Jefferson Anderson's book, Sun Sign, Moon Sign, an observation of many different individuals. The writing itself comes from Mantak Chia and William U. Wei's Cosmic Astrology. Copyright 2012 by North Star Trust, published by Destiny Books. Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Aquarius. Iconoclast. Your interests range from living among native peoples, decoding ancient secrets, or looking through a microscope. Because in your quests you may really discover something which wins you recognition, there is a good chance you will succeed. Frequently, though, double Aquarians become so mired in their unusual pursuits that they begin to lose touch with reality. Or, on occasions, their discoveries are just so futurist that the rest of the world does not value them until many years later. An Aquarius can often be spotted by that distant sparkle in their eyes, and enthrallment is the key to their character. The unusual, the unnoticed, and the untested are things you are alert to. You are always lost in thought with some new, burning interest, and are high-strung and very energetic. Your inquisitiveness and taste for the exotic are voracious. You have a special type of intuition, together with considerable intelligence and imagination. You always look toward the future, and somehow seem to know what it will bring. This holds true even in the distant future. But you do tend to be somewhat inconsistent and unclear. Your concentration and enthusiasm usually weaken quickly, even though you start a project with total dedication. Friends are wary when talking to the thrill-seeking and unpredictable double Aquarius. Your biggest issue is to find something that will focus and hold your interest. There is an impulsive aspect about you that can be totally frightening and can cause people to keep their distance. The fact is that you are an odd person and will not change anytime soon. People who cannot accept this will be sadly disappointed. You are attracted to work that permits a lot of freedom and independence and satisfies your never-ending curiosity. Accepting your own uniqueness can perhaps help people find it easier to be comfortable around you. Professionally, science and reporting are fields that might interest a double Aquarius. You are insecure about yourself in spite of your magnetic and extroverted personality. It is vital that you have many assorted, interesting associations, because friends are important to you. And associations is the correct term. It is almost impossible for you to become actually intimate with anyone because you are so detached. By the same token, it is nearly impossible for you to hate someone because you are like to be a friend to everyone. Others are drawn to you because you are unique and your charm is unusual, but some of your more eccentric characteristics and extreme independence can also rebuff them. Notes from Charles and Susie Harvey's Sun Sign, Moon Sign. Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Aquarius, your greatest strengths. Gift for friendship. Ability to understand objectively the principles underlying any problem you'd observe. Humanitarian concern for the welfare of your fellow human beings. Courage and commitment to your ideals. Eternal sense of hope and belief in human potential. Your greatest weaknesses. Emotional naivety and impersonal approach to relationships. Tendency to over-identify with causes. A blunt, insensitive, and overcritical approach to comparing people with your ideals. Proneness to leave abruptly when the going gets too emotional and impinges on your freedom. Images for integration. A friend to all the world looks in the mirror and takes time out to befriend herself. The living, breathing entity we call society. The jolly green giant.